Every clothing store in America marks down inventory on a predictable schedule, and you're buying at the worst possible time. The shirt you bought last week for $60 will be $36 in exactly 3 weeks. The jacket you paid $200 for in October will drop to $80 by January. This isn't random. Every major retailer follows a markdown calendar that determines exactly when prices drop, by how much, and for how long. Department stores like Nordstrom, Macy's, and JCPenney run on a 6 to 8 week cycle that moves clothing from full price to clearance in predictable stages. Fast fashion brands like Zara and H&M operate on a completely different 2-week rotation. And if you understand these timelines, you can buy the exact same clothes for 40 to 70% less. Today, we're going to break down the secret markdown schedules that stores use, the exact months to buy each category of clothing, and the 3 timing strategies that will permanently change how you shop for clothes. Every piece of clothing that enters a retail store follows a predictable life cycle. Week 1 through 2, the item arrives at full price. The store places it at eye level, on the front tables, and in the window displays. This is where they make their highest margin, typically 60 to 70% markup over wholesale cost. By week 3 to 4, if the item hasn't sold through at least 40% of its initial stock, the first markdown hits. This is usually 25% off, and it's disguised as a quote-unquote limited time promotion. By week 5 to 6, the second markdown arrives at 40 to 50% off. The item moves from the front of the store to the back section, often on a sales rack. By week 7 to 8, you're in clearance territory, 60 to 75% off. The item has moved to the clearance rack, the back corner, or the lowest shelf. And by week 9 to 12, anything remaining gets shipped to outlet stores or sold to liquidation companies for pennies on the dollar. This 8-week life cycle repeats for every season, every collection, and every brand. The schedule varies slightly by retailer, but the pattern is universal. Let's break down the specific markdown calendars for the biggest department stores. Nordstrom operates on one of the most predictable schedules in retail. Their anniversary sale in July marks down upcoming fall merchandise by 30 to 40% before it even hits full price. Their half-yearly sale in late December slashes winter inventory. And their end-of-season clearance in January and June can hit 60 to 75% off. Macy's follows a more aggressive discount cycle. They run 48 promotional events per year, nearly 1 per week. But the real markdowns happen during their semi-annual clearance in January and July. The secret? Macy's uses a last-act pricing system where items get a red sticker with 3 markdown levels. Yellow tag means 25% off. Red tag means 50% off. Additional 25% off red means 62.5% off original price. JCPenney marks down inventory every 2 weeks. Their clearance cycle starts with 30% off, moves to 60% off after 4 weeks, and hits 70 to 80% off by the 6-week mark. Target follows a different model entirely. They mark down clothing every Monday morning. Store associates scan racks with handheld devices and apply new prices based on algorithms that factor in sell-through rate, regional demand, and remaining inventory. Fast fashion operates on a completely different timeline, and it explains why Zara and H&M always feel like they're having a sale. Zara introduces new inventory every 2 weeks, roughly 12,000 new designs per year compared to 3,000 at a traditional retailer. Their markdown schedule is compressed to match. Items that don't sell in the first 2 weeks get marked down immediately. By week 4, they're on clearance. By week 6, they're gone, replaced by the next batch. H&M follows a similar 2 to 3 week cycle. They use dynamic pricing algorithms that adjust prices based on real-time sales data. An item might be $29.99 on Tuesday and $24.99 by Friday if it's underperforming. Shine operates on an even more extreme model. Their items rotate daily, and prices can change 3 to 4 times in a single week. But here's the crucial insight. Fast fashion markdowns aren't real savings. The original price was inflated to create the illusion of a deal. A $40 Zara top that drops to $25 was never designed to sell at $40. It was designed to sell at $25 while making you feel like you got a bargain. Here's the seasonal markdown calendar that every smart shopper should memorize. January is the single best month to buy winter clothing. Coats, sweaters, boots, and cold weather accessories hit 50 to 70% off as stores clear space for spring inventory. February through March is prime time for buying formal wear and suits. Post-Valentine's Day and pre-spring collections create a dead zone where formal inventory drops 30 to 50%. April through May is the sweet spot for spring clothing markdowns. Items that arrived in February are now 4 to 6 weeks old and hitting second or third markdowns. June through July is the best time for swimwear and summer clothing. The July 4th sales aren't the real bargains, the mid to late July clearances. Prices drop 40 to 60% as stores transition to back to school. August is the optimal month for buying athletic wear and activewear. Brands clear summer inventory before fall launches, and back-to-school competition drives aggressive pricing. September through October is when you should buy transitional pieces, light jackets, and denim at steep discounts as stores push winter inventory. November is complicated. Black Friday deals on clothing average only 20 to 30% off, which is less than the January or July clearance markdowns. December is the worst month to buy almost everything. Stores have zero incentive to discount during gift-giving season. Wait 3 weeks for the January clearance. Now let's talk about the outlet store myth, because this is costing millions of shoppers real money. 85% of clothing sold at outlet stores was manufactured specifically for outlets. It was never sold at full price in a regular store. Brands like J.Crew Factory, Gap Factory, and Nike Factory create separate, lower-quality product lines exclusively for outlet distribution. The tags say compare at $98, marked down to $39. But that $98 comparison price is fictional. The item was designed, manufactured, and priced to sell at $39. The fabric is thinner. The stitching is looser. The hardware is cheaper. A Federal Trade Commission investigation found that most outlet retailers use artificially inflated comparison prices that no consumer ever actually pays. The real markup on outlet-made clothing is still 50 to 60%, the same as mainline stores. So you're not getting a deal. You're getting a different, lower-quality product at its intended price, wrapped in the psychology of a bargain. The exception is actual markdown merchandise that gets shipped from mainline stores to outlets. Look for items without a separate outlet tag or with the original store's price sticker partially covered. Online clothing markdowns follow different rules than in-store, and understanding the difference can save you hundreds. E-commerce sites track your browsing behavior. If you view an item 3 or more times without purchasing, many retailers will trigger a personalized discount, usually 10 to 15% off, delivered via email or a pop-up on your next visit. Amazon clothing follows a different algorithm. Prices fluctuate based on inventory levels, competitor pricing, and purchase velocity. The best prices typically appear on Mondays and Tuesdays when online traffic is lowest. Private label brands like Amazon Essentials and Goodthreads rarely go on traditional sales. Instead, they use lightning deals and subscribe and save discounts that rotate unpredictably. Shopping cart abandonment triggers markdowns too. Add clothing to your cart. Leave the site for 24 to 48 hours, and many retailers will email you a 15 to 20% discount code. This works at Gap, Old Navy, Banana Republic, J.Crew, and dozens of other brands. Browser extensions like Honey and Capital One Shopping automatically apply coupon codes at checkout. But the real hack is using price tracking tools like Camel or Keepa to set alerts for the specific price point you want. Most clothing items hit their lowest online price within 6 to 8 weeks of release. Let me give you the 3 timing strategies that combine everything we've covered into an actionable system. Strategy 1, the 6-week delay. Never buy clothing at full price. Set a reminder for 6 weeks after any item catches your eye. By then, It will have gone through at least 2 markdown cycles and typically costs 40 to 50% less. The only exception is limited edition pieces that genuinely won't be restocked. Strategy 2. The opposite season buy. Purchase winter clothes in January and summer clothes in July. This requires planning 6 months ahead, but the savings are 50 to 70%. Buy your winter coat in January, store it, and wear it the following October. Strategy 3. The markdown stacking approach. Combine the retailer's markdown schedule with additional savings layers. Start with the clearance price, add a store coupon or credit card discount, layer on cashback from Rakuten or Ibotta, and use a credit card with 3 to 5% cash back on the purchase category. A $200 jacket at 60% clearance drops to $80. A 20% coupon brings it to $64. 5% cashback makes it $60.80. That's a 70% total savings using timing plus stacking. Most shoppers pay full price because they buy emotionally, not strategically. They see something they like and buy it that day. But the exact same item, in the exact same store, will cost 40 to 70% less if you simply wait for the markdown cycle to catch up. What's the most you've ever overpaid for clothing? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to see the exact month-by-month calendar for buying everything, not just clothes, that video is right here. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another smart shopping breakdown. See you in the next one.